still need to do our tree. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit for that. There we go. We first need to put in the trunk. So you can use a liner or a small round. And we're going to line the trunk with some raw sienna and some of the raw umber. And I'm just kind of mixing them on my brush so that it's not a mixed color. You're going to get a little bit of each of them as you line the trunk. And I'm just going to pull the line of that trunk down so you can put a little bit more raw sienna down on this end to give it a highlight. And then the branches on the tree are going to be some elongated comma strokes. And we need some variations of green for that. So we're going to first start with our green mix that we came with from the beginning. And I don't want that to be the lightest, so we're going to pick up some of the phthalo green blue and mix into that to make a darker value. See here. Here I've mixed it on my palette. It doesn't have to be a perfect mix, just kind of squish them together. And then we're going to paint these branches. So, see, it's better for me if I work upside down. What we're going to do is you're going to lay the brush down and push down hard and then pull, and as you pull, start lifting and turning the brush. And that will create a comma stroke that is rounded at the end and comes up to a narrow tail when you let up on the brush. So we're just going to fill those in across this top section of the tree. And they don't have to be all the same thickness, you know. You can vary them a little bit. You can pull some actually over the tree trunk. That one a little longer. You want to keep both sides kind of even. Let me pull a shorter one on this side. So you can see we're kind of filling in a layer of the tree. Now you want to repeat that for the next layer of the tree. So you may need to mix up a little more paint. And we're going to overstroke this in a minute with some lighter values so that you have multiple values of green in the tree. So you don't want to fill it in too thickly on the first layer. So we're going to go to the next group of branches. And I'm just doing these fairly quickly. So you can see we've got kind of a top section of the tree, and then the next section steps down from there. And maybe pull some of those out a little bit longer. Okay, so the next group of branches you can go to just you can rinse your brush out if you want. Let's just go to the green mix. I'm going to lay it in here on my palette next to the green mix I had. You can see it's a little lighter value because it's got more white in it. So we're going to go back over this tree, and you're not going right over those same branches, just filling in some more comma strokes in that lighter value, so it gives your tree some depth. I'm making these a little thinner. We're going to repeat that on the lower section. So these are kind of overlapping, but they're not overlapping or in between. You just want various layers so that you see all the greens through it. Now I'd like some, we need to pick up some of the yellows, so I would like to mix some of the more yellow values into this green. And to do that, I'm first going to pick up some raw sienna and mix that. And you can see where that causes the green to go more yellow. I'll pick up some more, add that in. So we're going to get a different value of green, where this was our real blue-green that we started with. This will give us a more yellow-green value. And you can, again, repeat those strokes over top. And each layer just adds more depth and color to your tree. You don't have to worry about the tails on your commas because they're so overlapping, you're not going to see whether you have nice thin strokes to the ends of your comma strokes. And now I'd like to go just one value lighter, so we're going to stay with this yellow mix that we had, and we're going to add a little bit of white into it. So I'm picking up some white and just brush mixing. Now I can see where when I add the white to it, it goes cooler. So I would still like that to be a more yellow-green because the warmer colors will come out where the blue colors, the blue base colors, kind of recede into the background. So to bring that back up to a more yellow-green, I'm going to pick up a little bit of the Hansa yellow and mix that in. And you can see where that starts getting to be more of a yellow-green value again, but lighter. So again, I'm going to start adding some strokes of this. And that really pops out over the more blue-greens at the background. And I'm making some of these strokes shorter so they look like they're more of the shorter front branches. Again, just go to your bottom. So there we have kind of a fun festive tree with a snowman to hold. And we are going to now add our star to the top of that. So you can let your tree dry and transfer that star to the top of your tree. And I will come back when the tree's dry. As I was painting the tree, I realized after I finished that I forgot to do that top little section of the tree. So there's actually 3 little sections. So the top one's the shortest. So I'm going to go back and do that now. We're doing some of the darker mix first, which is our green mix plus the phthalo green blue. Then I'm going to do just the green mix. That is our next lighter color. And you can see this section is actually coming right up over the letter T of winter time that we stenciled at the top of the board. Then we use the green mix plus a little bit of raw sienna to give a more yellow-green color to the mix, because the raw sienna is a yellow-brown color. Adding that to the green mix warms it up and gives it a yellow tint. And then finally we added some Hansa yellow to that mix and a little bit of white to give us our lightest color to come over top of those of the tree. That's kind of a lighter yellow-green. So there's the third section of our tree. Now we're going to base in the star with the Hansa yellow.